Spokespersons for United Party, Alan Party, no. Solomon Owusu, one of the deputy Ebo Backman, said the Masia Sunny Jaguar Afenyo-Markin NPP for so. Now Ebo Backman party, no, and I think say catching my attention, especially because he was very emotional. Say MPP for Adiana Moyeno, more time Sammy Gyamfi too much. The Goldbod and sense and Amokan. I am ja SS Sammy Gyamfi the Goldbod. Eboma Ghana economy no I stabilized. Now Dr. Baumiana Kasamuno, more friend economic risk. Went money economy anyway. We are seeing a election of the economy. I think he was very passionate. Say on TSA say NPP for be say or man say economy. Na ababi about o clean mo mess. Na mo pesa mo the politics. Ebre Sammy Gyamfi ase. Abujafo me come me no content. Don't skip any part of this video. I think you enjoy it right here on Sokatwa Show. Message over subscribe. We have bell notification and comment and on. Send me a bija video no to my one sa ebeka. Backhomeassist.com say men catch Ghana for more money. Say me pacho if you na wusi o Ghana hanim say wunni hanti untumi for wani wan kwhwe ye professional group or you register ye different numbers na go screen so no and as log on to backhomeassist.com na fa share say be kwa kwhwe edan na contractor ni si no ye kwa ye be kamu no kre e de akyerew enti ye be ye waso ye be ye wani ni asa ye wonsa in this particular country Obakrampo ne wo school na apo be amana kwakosra na bia woni teachers for din common ye hu na academic progress sa so na wo to asa no nye tu show be be da enti wo pese obi kohwema no kamu ne kracha me so friend number na fashion say ye professional group enti no kra trodo ana ye be ka akyerew enti etse wan kasa wo Ghana hanim se na de wani wa akwakohwe now Lel Flower Green Clay Solutions that go so omo bon kaya sana pawe anwumre open cleaning company amama be sese aprepel fee hospital charge bank institution so the office wo em ho ye kama dem so friend numbers na go screen so. First insert Ebo Backman. Only a deputy director of communication in my United Party. He was very, very emotional and I enjoyed the submission. My best say o man no. Was munya na ndisi fonye o man ni Sammy Gyamfi bodjuma. What is this about Udekutie?
Yeah. You see, yesterday's press conference was an attack on Goldbod. It wasn't an attack on just the losses. It was a specific attack on Goldbod. And that is why Afenyo-Markin kept saying that, and this is what he said. I want to quote something that he said so that we can all agree that it matters where the loss is recorded. It matters. We concede it. We concede it is the Auditor General that has conducted an audit but was not granted access to the full picture. If the Auditor General knew the cost of Goldbod transactions were borne by BOG, it wouldn't declare surplus in its accounting reporting. In other words, what Afenyo-Markin said was that there was a cost that was supposed to be attributed to Goldbod, but Bank of Ghana kept that cost. And as a result of that, Goldbod recorded surplus. But if that cost had been entered in the books of Goldbod, Goldbod wouldn't have made the surplus. But the question is, if an agent takes a decision on behalf of its principal and cost is borne or gain is made, where is it recorded? Is it recorded in agent's books or the principal's books? This is very simple. There is no way agent will give money, principal will give money to an agent to take a decision on its behalf, and that when you are accounting for the money, it will sit in the recording will be done by the agent. It is the principal, the one who sent the money, who gave the money out, who will record. That is why Bank of Ghana records that. These losses were not losses of Goldbod. Let's accept it. Of course, there's a reason why Goldbod has become a target. But we should be very consistent in the way we talk about accounting principles. I mean, just think about it. Bank of Ghana wants to buy gold. Bank of Ghana has its official exchange rate. But the rate at which the gold is sold out there is the spot rate, which is higher than Bank of Ghana's official rate. Now, in order to be able to be competitive in buying gold, you have to buy it at a spot price, spot market price, or rate. Now, granted, or let's for simplicity's sake, let's take it that Bank of Ghana's rate is $1 is equal to 10 cedis. But out there, it is $1 is equal to 12 cedis. So a Goldbod would have to buy the gold at that price. But when it brings the gold to Bank of Ghana and Bank of Ghana is recording it, Bank of Ghana cannot record it with the exchange rate out there. Bank of Ghana can only record it with its official exchange rate. So the difference of 2 cedis becomes a loss. We call it translation loss or accounting loss.
3FM.
It is not loss as a result of commercial activity by Bank of Ghana. It's not commercial loss. It is called translation loss or accounting loss. Who should record this? Should it be Goldbod or Bank of Ghana? It should be Bank of Ghana. So why do you blame Goldbod for doing its work as an agent? And why don't you blame the Bank of Ghana for deciding to buy the gold? Because certainly, once you buy the gold, you will incur that loss. Anyone would have incurred this loss, whether NPP, NDC, UP, CPP, because that's how it works. Because there's no way anybody will sell his or go to you at Bank of Ghana rate. They will not do it. They will go to the spot price outside and sell it. So in order to prevent smuggling, you have to also compete and buy it at the price being sold out there. And so why should this be why should it be a problem? Why should it be a problem for NPP, a whole NPP, to organize press conference because of this? Are they saying, of course, they've admitted that they also incurred losses during their time. But it's not about incurring losses. It's about the benefit as well. If you do juxtaposition in terms of cost-benefit analysis, what was the effect of their gold trading on the economy? I'm talking about NPP. What was the state of the economy and the NPP? We are running an economy that is predominantly driven by imports. And as a result of that, the most important thing to control, to have control over, is your forex, your foreign exchange. So if you have a mechanism, a system in place that is helping you as a nation to control your foreign exchange, to have control over your foreign exchange, so that your economy will be stable, people can plan properly, your inflation can come down, you can cut down imported inflation, and for your inflation to come down, people can plan properly, businesses can do better. You are complaining about what? What is the MPP's complaint about? That Bank of Ghana has incurred losses and they want to force these losses on Goldbod? Is it because of Sammy Gyamfi? No, is it because of Sammy Gyamfi? Because Auditor General has conducted audit on Goldbod's activities. He said, no, the surplus that was declared by Auditor General, we don't accept it. Auditor General forcibly put that loss in Bank of Ghana's books. Put it in the books or on the books of Goldbod. Why should we do this to ourselves? Look at what has happened to this economy because of Goldbod. I am telling you, if MPP would have regretted, because last time I said that, I said Goldbod was in NDC manifesto 2020. When they lost the election, MPP should have been smarter to implement this policy. It's the best thing that has happened to our economy. It's the game changer of our economy. And you think IMF will be excited about it? No, you think they'll be excited about it? Because IMF becomes irrelevant if nations, if African countries would depend on their natural resources, gold and other things to strengthen the economy, what would the use of IMF? Do you think they will be happy? But that's not even the case. But you think NPP will be happy that the economy is stabilized? If the economy is stabilized, what would be the basis for them to argue about the economy? Because the person they're going to present, all that they presented, all that we were made to know about him is that he's an economist. He's an economic risk kid. And unfortunately, he failed. So the only way he will become relevant in the system is when this government performs abysmally below his performance. But with this Goldbod and the way things are going, there's no way this economy will perform abysmally below Baume's performance. Hence the problem of NPP. I mean, look at the ranting. This guy was even sleeping. Kojo Akwa was sleeping. Even when he was standing behind Afenyo, he was sleeping. The man was sleeping because Afenyo was not making any sense, honestly speaking. I was so shocked. Kojo Nkrumah, someone with accounting background, the things you know. You see, politics is the only thing that can make you instantly or suddenly more, let me put it bluntly, stupid. Because politics can make you accept things that are not real, or believe in things that you're not supposed to believe in, or take position that is contrary to your own conviction or conscience. No, but I've not insulted anybody. I'm saying that politics, and I'm giving you reason why I'm saying that politics can make an intelligent person look stupid.
But you made reference to a particular person before you subtly using that word difference.
Okay, so let me put it this way. Taking the person's name out, I'm saying that politics is the only thing that can make intelligent person sound stupid. And I'll give you instances. Because how can you argue that Goldbod should be the one to hold that loss in its books? How can you say that? When, in actual fact, if you look at principal-agent relationship, it's the principal that records the figures. So now they are running away. Look at the argument. Look at the way Honorable started. It doesn't matter in whose book it is recorded. It matters because the attack is on Goldbod. And now, upon reflection, they've come to the realization that they goofed. So now they are shifting the argument and it doesn't matter. It matters because Goldbod was the attack, was the one on whom the attack was given.
Right.
So it's obvious that now they are running away from their own words. Yesterday's press conference was a blatant attack on Sammy Gyamfi and Goldbod. But from what Honorable just said, it's so obvious they are running away from their own words because it doesn't make sense. That the kind of argument they made yesterday did not make sense at all. In fact, I was so ashamed because of the relationship I have with Afenyo-Markin. I was so ashamed yesterday. And I understand him because he sees the whole thing as a game. Recently he had an interview and he said NDC is taking this game too far. So in his view, it's a game, So he doesn't say anything wrong with, corruption. He thinks everything is a game. The whole thing is a game. So probably you have to understand him if, he did what he did yesterday. But you see, it is not, I told you, it is not just, we don't trade, you see, Maunia, we don't trade in gold for trading sake. We trade in gold to have a benefit as a nation. So when you trade in gold, the question is, what is the end game? What do you stand to gain as a nation? And the NPP, we had this gold for reserve and gold for oil. They told us, with the introduction of gold for reserve and gold for oil, we are going to have control over our forex, and also fuel will be cheaper at the pump. But it wasn't so. In fact, the economy was so bad that Dr. Bawumia himself ran away from the economy. The economy was so bad that Dr. Bawumia didn't want to be associated with the economy. And it wasn't NDC or Ghanaians that said the economy was in junk status. It was the international rating agencies. Why were you locked out of capital markets? If your economy was so good, why were you locked out? Why were people not prepared to give you money? because the economy was so bad. That's why I'm saying that, given what Goldbod has brought to the table in terms of its contribution to the stability of Ghana's economy, there's no way NPP will be happy about it. Hence, this attack. Let me tell you this, and I said it the last time, not here. You see, thieves have started coming up with strategies. Now, if you see thief and you shout thief, thief, the thief also shout thief. Also shout at someone as thief. So that people will be confused as to who is the real thief. Yesterday, this loss that is recorded openly in books, Afenyo-Markin says it amounts to corruption. Can you imagine that?
What didn't you say yesterday?
And listen to this, though. What is recorded openly, blatantly in books, that this is a loss we incurred as a result of our economic activities, which has given us profound benefits in terms of economic stability. Afenyo likened that one to the kind of corruption that went on under MPP. Can you imagine? So it's like thief calling somebody thief to confuse Ghanaians. We know who are the real thieves in this this country. We know those who are facing the law court. We know those who don't want their cases to be continued. We know all of them. We know the thieves, the real thieves in this country, that they looted this country so that their own member, a senior member of their own party, said MPP were looting Ghana as if there were no tomorrow. And so we know the real thieves. So Afenyo-Markin cannot stand on this to get the impression that, yes, we are all thieves. In fact, we know the thieves. This is not thievery. What they did was not in open books. What they did, what this MPP did to Ghana's economy, the looting that went on were hidden looting. It took us a long time to be able to discover those looting. So they should not compare the two. This Sammy Gyamfi is a target, and understandably so.
Why should we make him a target?
No, that's what you've done. You've made him a target. Because why do you impose on Goldbod a loss that belongs to Bank of Ghana?
It doesn't matter if it's Goldbod.
It matters, because yesterday press conference was not focused on Bank of Ghana.
Let me tell you, if even it's Goldbod.
Oh, you are running away. Now you are running away. You're chasing. We're going to pay a better. Now, you are running away. You are running away from your work. We'll chase you with that. You see, the whole thing yesterday, why do you think Goldbod is responding today? Because the impression is being created out there that Goldbod has incurred a loss and it amounts to corruption. To the extent that when they come, Sammy Gyamfi will be arrested. And look at the impression, the picture they are trying to paint in the minds of Ghanaians. Are you getting the point? So let's put the things where they are. You are not running away from it. We'll keep you there, because if you compare looting that went on in this country, but I've said the losses would have to be recorded in Bank of Ghana's books, which has been done. So why do you accuse Goldbod? Why do you want to superimpose that loss in the books or on the books of Goldbod?
You are happy there are losses, right?
Of course, if you are trading, but you said, but you yourself, you said you said the way the scheme is structured, you certainly incur losses. And it's under
to this tune.
To what tune?
17% losses.
So do you know the opportunity cost? Have you considered the opportunity cost?
The very thing that you criticize. The very thing that you criticize.
It's my time. If Goldbod had not done what it did to gather the gold for Bank of Ghana, for us to have the kind of stability we have, do you know how this economy?
So what is he talking about?
Do you know how this economy would have suffered? Don't you know what happened? Okay. Do you know? Can you quantify the cost of haircuts? People died because of the haircut.
Because of the haircut.
We have prevented the haircut this time. You don't want to go back to the haircut. So if a government has put in place a mechanism that is stabilizing our economy. Okay. That is helping us not to go back to the IMF, and you are not happy with it. No, you have some. It's because the familiar spirit has taken over NPP. They don't want any better thing for this country. And let's call them out. How can you do this to this country? After you destroyed Ghana's economy, you went to the IMF, your own candidate ran away from the economy. Somebody's cleaning your mess. You don't want to give the person a peace of mind to do it, so that all of us will suffer again. We should call them out. Right. Now they are running away from their own words. That it doesn't matter in whose move they stand.
Doc, Ebo Bakman no see a pe ana the boss Solomon Usu. No so TV3. Who say we are 3FM. I want na Ebo Bakman was deputy no. Ana the boss Solomon Usu no so TV3. And he also Sani Jagu NPP for. So I find you go ahead.
First of all, deal with this issue. Let's take your calculator and let's do a simple mathematics, and then let's put the issues
calculator.
in there.
You started this one with calculator, okay?
Yes, so that we dispel a lot of, you know, they are throwing a lot of figures out there that I don't think resonates or is in tune with what the IMF is saying. 2024, we expended how much? 400 million for what? For 11 tons of gold. You understand? So let's do simple proportions. This 1.74 billion we are told is as a result of sale of 104 tons of gold. So divide 104 by 11 and multiply by 400. And let's see.
104.
Yeah, divided by 11.
By 11.
Yes. Times 400 million.
400 million.
Are you doing science and math quiz?
Yes, we are doing science.
3.7.
So under their if you were going to go by their trajectory, you understand. Sometimes some of these people, when they are speaking, they don't even look at the data.
3.7 million.
So it means they would have expended $3.7 billion in buying 104 tons of gold. That is what we are discussing here. Now, Goldbod in 2025 is accused of having expended 1.7 billion. And that 1.7 billion was used to purchase 104 tons. This is the baseline. And this is what the minority in parliament is saying, that is a humongous cost. And I'm saying that the same IMF also references how much we expended in 2024. That in 2024, we bought only 11 tons at a cost of $400 million. So if all things being equal, we were doing the same extrapolation, it means if they were the ones who had bought 104 tons, we as a country would have expended, what did you get? $3.7 billion. How does 1.7 billion cost becomes more than 3.7 billion that they would have incurred? That is why I don't take them serious. But
they didn't incur that.
So I am telling you the baseline, you know, the data
I know
must
the extrapolations
exactly. And you see, and you see, and you see, listening to my two brothers.
His argument is that 1.7 brought in 104. And then 400
brought in 11 tons.
In only 11.
Roland, it is even what to the extent.
What is what about
it?
It?
What I'm coming.
Okay, please allow him.
I can't believe you have never done
no, please.
that.
No. Let this discussion not degenerate.
So no, he doesn't have anything to say. I know the strategy. So the minority extrapolated their whole press conference from a selected issues paper written by Wangum Nolen. Now, this is the headline. Lessons from the Bank of Ghana's domestic gold purchase program. It's not lesson from the Goldbod domestic purchase program. Say the Bank of Ghana's domestic purchase program. So the IMF itself acknowledges that this whole business of domestic purchase program is within the purview of the Bank of Ghana. And that it was the Bank of Ghana that gave the money for gold to be bought. So let us put it in play. So it is just disingenuous, pure propaganda to just turn it around and say it is Goldbod's problem. When, as a matter of fact, you know very well that it is the Bank of Ghana's issue. That's one. Number two, the World Bank itself, the IMF itself acknowledges, and let me read a paragraph for you. This is paragraph 2 or page 2. The rapid expansion of the gold, the domestic gold purchase program coincided and arguably contributed to a remarkable macroeconomic stabilization. This is the word IMF. They are telling you that as a result of what the Bank of Ghana, together with the Goldbod did, it led to what? macroeconomic stabilization of the economy. Is it in doubt? Are you in doubt about that? That as a result of what they did, your cedi to the dollar has stabilized over the period to the extent that by 2025 end year, it appreciated against the dollar to the tune of 41% or almost 42%. Is there anything in doubt about that? By the way, what is the function of the Bank of Ghana? You go to Article 183 and we put the issues in the right perspective. The Bank of Ghana shall be the central bank of Ghana and shall be the only authority to issue the currency of Ghana. 2, the Bank of Ghana shall promote and maintain the stability of the currency of Ghana and direct and regulate the currency system in the interest of this country. The Bank of Ghana, all that they are supposed to do is to put in place programs and policies that would assure the stability of our currency. Has that been achieved?
I don't understand. You mean that maintaining the currency is paramount?
That is a core mandate.
And the minority doesn't like that?
No, they know it. But what else are they going to say? What else do they have to say?
So how much
When
how much?
Zato, for the 20th time, let me tell you,
Relax.
nobody in this administration, neither was it in the MPP, can pay me for my work.
Okay.
Nobody. Look. No. Look.
We are not telling you that.
I have to establish.
It's okay.
The last time I allowed you to say it and get away with it on a sister station. Let me tell you, and I'm saying it once again. Nobody within this administration, neither was it in your administration, can pay me. I can pay myself. For Christ's sake.
That's all. You're my friend.
Oh my goodness. My goodness.
No. Seriously, I think that it is disrespectful and
allow them.
for you to hail so-called accusation. That you're claiming that he went to collect bribe or money to speak for the whole.
No.
It's not fair. Let's be decorous to ourselves.
It is the choice. It is the choice of words of Zato.
Can he also make the argument that you also went to take money? Please.
No, it's okay.
Aaron, he has withdrawn it.
I have heard severally.
It is unfair and disrespectful.
Roland.
And I think that the two of you, the way you have been accepted within the public domain so far, lends credence to the relationship.
Roland, you know why they will conclude on that? Because it's not very easy for anybody to do this, what I'm doing, and do it on a pro bono.
So you're saying you speak your mind?
I speak my mind.
Okay, please go
There
on.
is nothing to gain from going to take money and say and speak say something that is not truthful. It's
Please
not
allow him
honorable.
to talk.
Now,
so the currency is the problem.
the currency
They are
is a
worried.
problem. And then what are you going to campaign with? This was a party that said that they have arrested the dollar, given the keys to the IGP. That the dollar broke the chain, and we had to find it at 17 cedi. So
Dollar arrested.
It broke chain and started moving with the speed of light. So for them, they must do everything possible to make sure that the dollar also breaks the chain again, so that it goes beyond the 18 months. Recently, recently they were just watching the OMCs and their prices. They were praying that it would go beyond the 23 per liter. Then they just screenshot it and broadcast it. That is what my brothers are doing, and I'm saying that is not politics. You just have to go back, reorganize yourself, get cogent programs and policies, come and market it to the good people of this country. Because we will beat the NDC not on lies, but with superior policies. And I'm telling you, yes. Now, the IMF, this document that I'm holding itself, at a point, Gom Nolen himself was very confused. In one breath, he uses the term loss. In another breath, he uses the term cost. I believe that it's a cost of sale. I mean, TV3, as an entity, Obedient General, cannot generate revenue without incurring cost. It doesn't mean you have made a loss, especially where the outcome outweighs whatever input you put in. And that is why they safely say, here I'm reading again, that as a result of the Goldbod, the Bank of Ghana's domestic gold purchase program, they were able to realize 10.9 billion. Those Goldbod captures it at 10.8 billion, I understand, because they run at the IMF, run at it. 10.9 billion was generated by expending 1.74 billion. Who will not opt for this? Exactly. Who will not do? Why must we even debate on this? That you expended 1.7 billion and made money to the tune of 10.9 billion, you net it for how much? One is about 1.5% of GDP. The revenue that accrued to the state was 9.5%. And you want me, because on the altar of politics, cheap politicking, come and sit here and say that.
But they say they are losses.
Yeah, which one? Look, let me quote the IMF is own. At the point
Which
that,
page?
No, I'm referring to page 8.
Page 8.
This IMF, this is what they rely. This is knowledge document that they
have. It's on
have.
the page of IMF. So anybody who likes, you can go and.
So this is page 8.
Page 8.
Listen to the IMF using cost. Here they are deviating from the use of the term loss. And it's under paragraph 14. You are here, you can read. Domestic gold program, purchasing program activities will be fully transferred to the Goldbod as of July 1st, 2027. And listen to what the IMF, those that are quoting the IMF, when they got to this portion, they decided not to read it. And
they skipped it?
They skipped it. Under a memorandum of understanding, the Bank of Ghana will fully exit the domestic gold purchase program and will no longer be exposed to its quasi-fiscal risks in the future. It will continue to play a role as Goldbod's fiscal agent and as a recipient of monetary gold for its reserve. All costs, listen here, they didn't use the term loss. All costs of the domestic gold purchase program will be transparently assumed by government. They didn't say all losses, because they know that it is a cost of sales. Now, these costs are expected to be brought down to 5% of gold purchase. These costs are expected to be brought down to 5% of gold purchase. Some progress, listen to the IMF that they are relying. Some progress has been made in 2026 quarter one. The IMF is saying that in spite of what they realized in 2025, there has been monumental progress in quarter one of 2026. With this cost down from 14.5% in 2025 to 11.4%. This was done notably through the halving of assay fees, service charges, and other logistical costs. The spread between the Forex Bureau rate and the reference rate has also been reduced significantly.
And this is the same IMF.
This is the same IMF. And when the minority got to this part, because they know a lot of Ghanaians do not read, but to my youth, when people say something, go and get the document and read it for yourself. It doesn't take anything.
And this is on the IMF page.
On the IMF page. And this is supposed to be the selected issues paper that they reference, that indeed Ghana expended $1.7 billion in getting 10.8 and 4. And so you must go and change the Goldbod and go and change the Bank of Ghana.
Why do you seem to make an overall commitment to this statement? That you look at the overall cost-benefit analysis.
Yes.
You say that a cost of 1.7, which of course, the IMF says could be improved, and this improving is better. And so we should continue on this policy path.
Yes. The point is that the IMF recognizes, and I just read to you, that our economy has been stabilized largely because of the domestic gold purchase program. Again, the IMF recognizes that for the first time, because the Goldbod came into it, I was one of those that initially criticized the Goldbod. I thought that the PMMC was doing the same role that the Goldbod was going to do. And indeed, they are doing that, but they have brought some levels of vim and vigor into that sector.
Vim and vigor.
Vim and vigor, and they are doing something that is right. Because for the first time in the history of this country, do you know in 2025, small-scale miners overtook, in terms of volumes, gold production against the large-scale miners? And the IMF itself says, and listen to what they say, they are giving us a clue, and as a country, we must, as a matter of urgency, begin to know. They tell us, the IMF tells us that the large-scale miners or mining companies in this country does not contribute a far into our economy. And I want to get a relevant provision for you. Maybe your time will not allow, but I'll ask, I'm going through. The World Bank, the IMF says, that your Anglo Gold, your Newmont, your Gold Fields, and so on and so forth, their contribution in terms of revenue to the Ghanaian economy is not as substantial as we expect. And that the artisanal small-scale miners have contributed immensely. Now we will be the last people to be lectured by those that nearly so tall mismanage the economy of this country. We will be the last political party or individuals to accept the views of individuals that nearly sold vacuum. The precious institution, when they were in power, and they claim they relaunched, in fact, it was a relaunching of gold, domestic gold purchase, because we have been buying gold to the Bank of Ghana since time immemorial. When they launched it in 2021, in 2024, the cedi to the dollar at the point was nearly 1:17. So it means that we were doing something wrong. The IMF itself acknowledges that the gold for oil was just a top adventure that all of us were taken through. And I want to admonish.
What do you mean by chop chop? If there's any chop chop, listen.
Let me read that profit. Let me read that portion so that you say domestic gold purchase program operations have generated significant losses for the Bank of Ghana. Losses in 2024 were equivalent to almost $400 million. And let's know, 1/3 of which were related to gold for oil. That's the cost.
The 400 million.
The 400 million. They just tell you that 1/3 of it, the cost that they incurred in terms of 400, 1/3 of it was attributable to the gold for oil. And I'm saying that gold for oil, we never knew the off-takers. The question that Afenyo was asking yesterday, we did not know the off-takers, we did not know how much a dollar was being sold for. You did not know all this. You were relying on a document. So on what basis did you arrive at the figure called 1.74 billion? We got to be serious in this country. No wonder at the point somebody was yawning during the press conference.
2 minutes. Sorry, you have 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes.
In sentencing one to me, this was what the judge said. The court takes notice of the gravity of the offences and the need for deterrence to avert the environmental disaster that might befall the nation. The more law enforcement stays aloof and allows illegal mining activities to persist in the country. The offences in this case relate to illegal exploitation of mineral resources, which are the property of the state. The conduct of the first and the third accused persons undermines the regulatory framework for the mining sector and contributes to environmental degradation associated with illegal mining. So you cannot say that it was not committed based on illegal. Now, there is a simple saying in international business that says that you think global, you act local. Ghana must chart its own path to development. From what I glean from what the IMF has done, is to give us an indication that we must not follow the usual path.
The orthodox.
The orthodox. It will not lead us anywhere. The Goldbod must, as a matter of urgency, I've seen them say that they are bringing an app that will do what we call traceability, enforce those things so that we are able to trace where the goods are coming from. Again, government interventions such as the new Cocoa Act that will prevent cocoa farmers from giving out their farms for mining must be implemented to the latter. More so, from the United Party's perspective, we are suggesting or proposing that Ghana establishes what we call the Gold Bank. That Gold Bank will be dealing with all our mineral needs. Because
that's what you advocate for.
Yes, you see, there are a lot of things that we can do with the Gold Bank. Features, forward sales, and so on and so forth. That we can accumulate a chunk of our monies to deal with our problems that we have here. All these things that we are discussing, it has become a subject matter for discussion because there is somebody by name Sammy Gyamfi who is occupying the position of the Goldbod. Other than that, nobody. At a point you are discussing a matter to deal with Bank of Ghana, but all the efforts or all the concentration was on Goldbod. Now they have even escalated the matter to the extent that they say, before they even come to power, they will arrest you. And when we arrest you, you have to go and count
the bail conditions.
Who does that? I said, no wonder at a point, man to man, he was referring to his co-man as handsome. Handsome. You know why they didn't pass the LGBTQ? You man. A woman was standing by you. You say man.
Right.
Handsome.
Let me read some comments. Excuse me. Prince Johnson Kuma says
Roland,
that the people of Ghana are very confident in the management of the Bank of Ghana.
To congratulate my brother for passing your bar exams. I hope from here you go to the courtroom and practice or apply your trade there. Don't come here. Yeah.
But he's a politician.
So. This is a point of information on the
for yenda masanifa program no NC right here on Sokatwa Show. Moson for Steve Zandoni. And to be a message. Bye bye.